Good morning, or depending on when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always told out of Voice of Radio, so today we need to talk about the fact that things are getting dumb. You see, ladies and gentlemen, what we've actually got here is a situation where the special art rares in the new Japanese sets are becoming absolutely ridiculous in a way which I don't think is a good thing. And it's illustrated nicely with the release of Triple Beat, which literally just came out over in Japan. And over in Japan, we see the big card in terms of value as Dendra, the special art rare of Dendra. Now, we're going to see this fluctuate quite a bit over the next couple of days and weeks, so use this as a rough guide only. But right now over on Card Rush, that card is selling for 124,000 yen. That is a ridiculous amount of money. That is $907. That is £757. That is a ridiculous amount of money for a single card. The problem is, this has happened twice in a row. This is turning into a little bit of a trend, and this is going to have proper, identifiable negative repercussions for all of us fans of the game. This is not a good thing. This is a very, very bad thing. And the thing is, it's not Dendra. Like, Dendra as a card is fine. You put a card in your hand to the bottom of your deck and then draw until you've got 5 cards in your hand. It's fine, it's a draw card. It's okay. It's going to see a bit of play here and there. It's not going to be a staple. We've seen the full art. And I'm not saying the full art is cheap, let's be clear. The full art is not a cheap card. But it's sitting there at about 38,000 yen, which is significantly more reasonable. It's less than a quarter of the price. It is around about $278 or around about £232. And I'm not saying that's good. It's not. It's crazy expensive. But I am saying that compared to the special art rare, it's basically nothing. And you might be thinking, well, Wassy, come on. That's all well and good, but you're using one website here. You're using Card Rush, and Card Rush is fine, but come on. It's not like that's the only site out there. Surely we can look in some other places, and it's going to be a little bit cheaper. Well, we can head on over to Mercari. Mercari is generally what people tend to use instead of eBay. And it is a little bit better. It is a little bit cheaper. Generally speaking, it's kind of like comparing eBay and some online shop. The deal basically is that the online store is generally going to be more expensive because they're paying higher bills and they're more trustworthy and blah, blah, blah. Whereas eBay is a little more, you might get scammed, but it's going to be a bit cheaper. That's kind of like Mercari and online stores. So, Mercari here, we got 3 listings in a row, 97,000 yen, 102,000 yen, and 100,000 yen. And if we average the 3 of them out, it comes to pretty much exactly 100,000 yen, which is admittedly less, but you're still talking $731 or £611. So it's not like we're talking about some nice, cheap card here. Even where we go for the more moderate Mercari, and again, Mercari is not always the best place to look because you're buying from random people and there are possibilities that the quality's not perfect, etc., etc. You don't have the same protection you would buying from a shop. But even there, even where you're saving money, we are still talking about a $730 card. That is not in any way, shape, or form cheap. And the problem we've got here is that this has now happened 2 sets in a row. Because we literally just saw this happen in Violet EX with Miriam. Now, Scarlet EX was fine. We didn't have one of these, not this level. There were special art rare supporters, but I'm talking about kind of this level. We didn't have this. But Violet we did. And I showed you in a video the other day that Scarlet EX is significantly cheaper than Violet EX, because Violet EX has Miriam and Scarlet EX doesn't. And this is probably going to keep happening. If we keep having one of these in every set, we are going to keep seeing this happen, and we're going to keep seeing these ridiculous prices. Because if we head on over to Card Rush and have a look at Miriam, bearing in mind that set's been out for a little while now, it's had plenty of time to kind of calm down. Miriam is sitting there at 118,000 yen, which admittedly is a tad below what we see from Dendra at the moment, but only a tad. 118,000 yen, you're talking $863 or £720. This is still an absurdly expensive card, and this has had weeks to settle down. If this was going to settle down and get nice and cheap, it would have happened by now. Firstly, we've had the whole, there's been several weeks, time has passed and all of that. And secondly, the new set's out. And the new set coming out really should kind of depress interest in the older set. The fact that it hasn't is extremely telling. So now we got 2 sets in a row, one with Dendra, one with Miriam, both of which have ballooned up to cards that are well over 100,000 yen. You're talking cards that are well over $700 in terms of value. And honestly, on Card Rush, they're both over 850. It's kind of a little bit ridiculous. And here's the problem. We have the knock-on effect here. You see, I've told you the other day that if you head on over to somewhere like Amazon Japan, it's not the only website, it's a nice place where you can see the values of kind of everything. So it's just a nice basis for comparison. Not saying it's a be-all and end-all. It's just a nice website where you can sit down and compare a bunch of products to each other. And if you try and buy boxes on there, and there's all kinds of ways where they can be essentially people selling just 30 loose packs. They're weighable, don't fall for it. Or people selling unsealed boxes, but again, they're not 100% trustworthy. I wouldn't necessarily believe them. If we go for brand new boxes, these are the figures I showed you the other day. A brand new box of Scarlet EX, brand new, sealed, shrink wrapping and everything, is 9,000 yen. Now, the RRP is 5,500 yen, so 9,000 yen is higher, but it's not ridiculous. 9,000 yen works out at about $66. It's fine. It's not great, but it's fine. It's not horrendous. But a new box of Violet EX comes in at 19,000 yen, more than treble. Treble would be 16,500 yen. So 19,000 yen is kind of 3.5 times, somewhere in that region. And 19,000 yen, sorry, I should say, 19,000 yen for a box, you're talking $140, when the RRP of a box is $40, pretty much exactly. You're paying $100 more than retail. You're paying 3.5 times retail. And the reason is because you've got a chance of pulling the special art Miriam. Now, it's not the only one, incidentally. If we look at Violet EX, we do also have a couple of other cards which are kind of ridiculous. So things like the Miraidon EX, for instance, is actually a pretty valuable card. But make no mistake about it, the value here is very much coming from the chance of buying Miriam. That's where we are. And this is going to happen with Triple Beat. This is basically guaranteed to happen with Triple Beat now. Buying a box of Triple Beat is now going to be horrendous because you've got the chance of pulling a Dendra. And because you've got a chance of pulling a Dendra, nobody is going to be selling boxes of Triple Beat for a reasonable price. Because we got a chance of pulling Dendra. And that's a problem to me. Because I've heard from people recently living over in Japan basically saying, look, we can't get stock fast enough. Everything sells out super quickly. And now the fact that you can basically have this card in it is only going to make things worse. Now, if we go and have a look at the moment for again, we're only looking at brand new, so we can't get scammed here. If we look at a brand new box of Triple Beat over on Amazon right now, you can actually pick one up for 14,600 yen. These are brand new, shrink wrapped, all of that, 14,600 yen. Which is very close to treble retail. That's not good. You're talking $107 if anyone's interested. Which, interestingly enough, is about what you're probably going to pay third-party sellers over in the US. You're going to be paying over $100 now for a box. And these are the kind of places that, just at the end of the Sword and Shield era, were selling boxes for like $60, $70. They're now going to be selling them for over $100. And that's sad, ladies and gentlemen. That's really genuinely sad. And you might be thinking, well, Wassy, that's all right. It's going to get better, innit? No. Because you see, the next set coming out is the double set Clay Hazard and Snowburst. And we know that that's going to have Iona in. An actual popular female character that is actually going to be popular way more so than Miriam and Dendra. And if you think the prices of Miriam and Dendra are ridiculous, and let's be clear, they are, get ready for Special Art Rare Iono, because you know there's going to be a Special Art Rare. It's going to happen. And you know that the value of that is going to make these two look a little bit cheap and adorable. That's a bad thing, ladies and gentlemen. That's a bad thing. All right, there we go. That's what you need to know. That's the news, and now it's over to you guys. Tell me what you think about all of this stuff in the comment section. Go nuts! Be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWassy. That's where we talk Pokemon card games, all kinds of fun things. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCGradio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus pods, join a Discord, chat with us about whatever you like, and get shout-outs on the channel like the lovely Javier Garcia, who is a very lovely person, has been one of our supporters for a while, and yeah, is a very lovely person. So thank you very much for all the support and for the loveliness. But by far the most important thing as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.